Dude, I'm so excited. I've been waiting like all week for this. It's like, how often do you say, man, I can't wait until Monday? Can't wait until Monday. How much power do I want to make? I don't know, like, if we tune on E, if we get there, anything over 350 is cool with me. All right guys, we are at Animal Auto today and we are doing some dyno tuning on our FK8 powered S2000. If you guys have been following along for the last 2 months, every week we've been putting out an episode and you've been seeing me, remove the engine, clean the engine bay, put my clutch on, put all my Science of Speed parts on it. I've learned some new things. I've done a wiring package that I'd never done before. So I learned how to do the electrical system custom for this vehicle. I learned a lot with the electric AC. That was something that obviously was like very different and new for probably a lot of us. And we're kind of at the grand finale of everything right now and we're getting the car actually tuned. So let's go in and see what's going on inside.
So it sounded pretty dang good after we did that, but we won't know under pressure. Let's check it under pressure. Okay, so if you would be ever so kind to remove your air filter. Oh wow, look at that, meant to be. Let's go ahead and get that clamp off your filter.
But
We for sure have one here though. Let's get the soapy water.
Oh, it's on.
Usually when you tap that gauge, it goes back down. I know, that gauge is like, it's like there's something.
It's the clamp right here, I think.
Cool.
Maybe, I think.
Easy fix.
It's gonna be like so tame and nice to drive.
Yeah, cruiser.
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably quieter than the motor it came with, huh?
I think so. I think it's gonna be quieter.
It has to be because it has a turbo to go through.
Yeah, exactly.
That muffles a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 5 pounds.
Okay. How much you normally put in?
At least 10. If it was a leak, it would have shown by now.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna run 14 pounds of boost, well, let's artificially create that.
Yeah, true.
And then check our system,
Yep.
So there's 10 pounds. It's solid because I'm not dropping really fast. You see what I mean? So we're good to go. What's still popping up? No first translation? Nope, that's okay. Fuel composition, UDH, diagnostic emission trigger with the UDH for the fuel composition. Yeah, fix that one next. Cruise controller, okay, in limit mode. Perfect. So now let's see if we get to 2,000. I'm having fun. Aren't you having fun?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at the speed. Let's go to speed.
I figured something out.
Let's enable it.
Well, he did, but I like.
That's why I said 2 brains are better than 1, all right? And we're both short, so we both come out really, really tall on top. Not yet. So the cam control, and I also want to see the tables. Okay, here we got cam control tables. Let's look for our aim and our position. It's pretty much banging it out, exhaust and intake.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's one bridge I really didn't want to have to cross today. Not that I don't like it, but it's definitely intricate stuff when you're using 2 cams to move around, and then mapping the fuel over that. Yeah, and then the boost. So let's go back to the boost. So if in theory, when I hit boost, I should get the channels that I want to see here, right? Okay. Boost speed limit. Okay, these are just limits, and they're set to 100, except for this one, which is the engine boost limit 70. That should jump to 100 when I move it. No. Okay, so boost pressure estimate is 20. Boost pressure is actually 94. Those should be more in line. Speaking of which, let's check the calibration on the map sensor for now. Okay, 99. Perfect, right?
Cool.
So the estimated and the pressure should actually be more dialed in. I don't want to hurt the servo either if we just did that wrong. You know what I mean?
Say again?
I don't want to hurt the servo if we did it wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we did like the calibration wrong, in and out. Don't get mad at me if we hurt a servo. You know what I mean? I'm trying my best. The way that it's right now would be no boost,
Yeah.
and then closing it would be all the boost.
Okay.
Do me a favor. As I move it, does this move at all? Like as I'm on the dyno, do you see it move?
Let me watch it, because I've always been in the passenger
Yeah.
seat.
Let's take an eye on that one. know what's crazy? It doesn't even make any boost now.
Yeah. So it was making too much boost right at idle because we couldn't control the actuator. But now it's closed all the way, so it's making no boost, so that's good. So if you can figure out how to raise it, then we're home free. So we'll see what happens. All right, today we made a ton of progress. It may not seem like that, but we've worked out so many little gremlins and issues and little things with the software and the tuning. We're at the point where we're trying to get a little bit more data. We need a little bit of tech support from Motec on trying to get the electric actuator working to its target and tracking properly. So far we haven't had any like electrical gremlins, nothing like that. All it is just software stuff that just takes time to figure out. Andrew is a specialist when it comes to engine management systems. He's also a specialist when it comes to Hall Tech, but because we're using Motec, things are different. There's a lot of really cool things that you could do with it, but then there's also a lot of stuff that we have to learn, figure out, and really like understand. Because if something's not working over here, the root of the problem is over here. So figuring out that trail on how to get to this little, the root of the actual issue takes time. And we've been here for several hours, nothing crazy. I mean, it's still light outside. We've been here for probably 4 hours and we're super close. So hopefully just tune in and we'll just continue to move forward and get to the finish line. All right, so we're back at the dyno day 2. We're starting early in the morning, so hopefully we'll have all day to get everything sorted. This morning, I called Motec tech support. They gave us some pointers on how to control the electric actuator. Andrew has done it before, but he's never done it on a Motec M1 system. It was a couple little things that you had to kind of like know how to do to actually implement it into the firmware that we're using. We referenced the FK8 package, and then we're actually physically using a package called, it's just a generic GPA M1 package for DI. It works well. There's a couple limitations to it. We can't get quite the map view of the boost control, but it doesn't seem like it's really a problem. So we worked through that this morning, and we're gonna kind of start making some pulls right now. We're making sure VTEC's working. We saw a couple knocks, and he's using his ears, like basically like with a knock control as like a secondary to try to figure out if it's actually a knock or not. It doesn't seem like it is because it comes on and then you don't see it again. Yeah, it has pinpoint control as far as what cylinder is actually knocking, so it will pull timing just from the ECU. He said the knock control on the ECU is like phenomenal. It's one of the strong points of the Motec. So we're just kind of going through that, and then we're going to make some pulls on the dyno.
Just follow the lambda, look for any knock, trims, if anything's out of whack, we're gonna back out. I really wish I could do boost plot on here, but we'll look at the dyno. We should be hitting around 8 pounds or something. All right, not bad, thank God. Let's go ahead and fix our feedback,
All right, yeah.
Okay, so at this point in time, we're pulling out 10 from this point in the map, right? So a couple ways to go about it. You can queue it, right? And it'll do that for you. But I'm not a big fan of a queue.
Right.
Right, because it always focuses on one cell.
Yeah.
So let's get a feel for when my trims were needed. Okay, so here and not here. So I would imagine just here is when I would probably want to start pulling some fuel out. All right, let's look at the knock, right?
Okay.
Let's go back to knock, and we're fucking well under our threshold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Threshold, yeah.
Like I said, granted, it was maybe also because I'm steady stating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The knock sensors are just
And you never heard anything when you
aggressive.
put your earphones on, right?
Let's look at the boost. Perfect on top of the money, right?
Okay.
But let's also get our feed forward like a little more correct, right? So my feed forward was set to 70, but the control was saying, nah, son, you needed 97, right?
Right.
Roughly more than what we have.
Yeah.
So the computer doesn't have to do so much work. Let's go ahead and actually plug in better feed forward numbers.
Yeah, because it's maintaining, but there's a big
exactly. So
maintaining
exactly. So let's call it 10%. I'm gonna probably give it 5, and then see if I get our margin of error down. Because if you hit it dead nuts, there's a chance you'll probably want to shoot and settle. Just save those numbers there. Let's go back to our fuel. okay. Let's see if we already trimmed it, but let's go and check that next. The knock is okay. Let's go back to my ignition really quick. And let's see where we were at. 14 degrees of advance, 17 degrees of advance, 18 degrees of advance, okay. Just for the sake of science. Torque curve is past 3,500, so anything past 3,500, I'm okay to put some timing into it.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So we gained a little bit from giving me some timing, but not like, oh my God, that was worth it. You know, no, we just got up on the boost.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and mow that back out. Let's go to our boost control. Let's see our errors are, it's kind of hard to tell, but
Still like,
they're still gonna be up there, of course. And you want some, but where's my target? I'm still hitting it though. Do you get what I mean? That's all that matters is that I'm hitting it.
yeah.
I just don't want to have so much error. And I'll try to just plug in those values and see if there's just perfect. You know what I mean? If that's the case, then great.
So we gave a little bit of timing, but there was like pretty much no benefit to it. It like made 3 horsepower. So for the safety reasons, we'll just go back to the old timing. It was like, I don't know, where we were at, it was like something around 17 degrees or something like that. Safer, and then we'll just add boost to make more power instead of adding timing.
For the sake of your video, I'm not sure how well the response is with ignition angle versus like with a DI engine versus a conventional.
Right.
Usually it's the same. It's gonna respond the same, you know, with like, say with like a, I don't know, car you flash, you usually just put some timing in it. Okay, so the fueling is pretty much done. Let's go ahead and get some boost in this thing, and then we're gonna do the half throttle, and then we're gonna go ahead and up the, change the fuel out.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so I think we were under our target there.
Okay.
Oh no, we hit it. So
Okay.
it's just my numbers are 70 kPa. All right, this should, in theory, if everything's right, should be the highest power one we made. But in theory, I am putting more boost through it than usual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just point timing, so we're gonna take some power out, obviously. But once I get that to stop acting up,
Yep.
then it's gonna be clean. But dude, we're making 300 horsepower with 14 pounds, not 22. 22
Yeah.
is gonna be a monster.
Yeah, I know, it's
These
wild.
really make some power if you just tune them.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's crazy. Okay. All right, E85 is in the car successfully. We went to the gas station, we found it, no worries there, got it dumped in the car, we're good. Now it's just all on Andrew to make some miracles happen, and it sounds like we're about to do that right now. All right, power numbers. So 91 octane, regular gas. We did 304, I think it is, about 300 horsepower. Well, I think it was 14 PSI. It was 14 or 16, but I think we're at 14 PSI for the turbo. I really honestly don't care that much. I just want to make power, and I want to make it successfully and reliably, and I don't want to hurt anything. But I do want to have an E85 tune, so we're working on that now. And I'm probably expecting, it could be as high as 380 horsepower, but 350 would be awesome for me. What's up? You didn't like it?
This looks really good though. Like the control's not far
Yeah,
off.
that's
you know what I mean?
that's
Remember
close.
how big of the window it was
Yeah.
earlier?
We're gonna pull the plugs because it sounded on the last pass. We had to like stop it halfway because they're probably blowing out. So we gotta read them, check them, see how they look. You good?
So you could think of a spark plug as like a candle, right? So when you have a lot of cylinder pressure, you know, like power or cramming it with a lot of turbo pressure, it's gonna want to blow out that spark plug, you know, that actual ignition. So if we tighten down the gap, you won't have a possibility of blowing it out as easy. So let's take a look at what we got, and we're gonna gap it down. Just like a high 30. So I think around 22, 24 will probably be a good place to start. Not familiar with this ignition system or what this coil is capable of, but let's try gapping it down and see how she responds. Let's just barely go down to like 25 and see how she does it.
So my interior's all tore apart right now, and I had to order, I thought I had them, but I didn't. But I need special latches for the hardtop, so these are changed out, this panel's removed. I put my rear view camera and everything in, so I ran some wires all down through here, but I'm still missing like side strikes and stuff, because I still need the hardtop receivers. So I gotta put those in, and then all the panels can go back on the car, but right now it's just kind of empty. Wow, overpressure, huh?
Sounds like it's under pressure in my opinion. Overpressure. The fuel pressure is higher than the defined diagnostic range, okay? Fuel pressure is higher than the defined diagnostic range. The fuel pressure is lower than the defined diagnostic range, okay? This is for the pump, I guess.
We had a fuel pressure warning, and it was kind of jumping around all over the place. So I am going to put a gauge, physical like gauge, in line right here so we could see it and we can log it that way versus looking at our sensor that is kind of remotely mounted. So it's just like a secondary look instead of looking at what we already have to make sure that, like, is it really doing that, or is it really dropping pressure? Why? This will give us a better diagnostic.
It's huge.
Yeah, it was like, it was hunting around, seriously.
I mean, I can add a filter to it, but I think that's the wrong way. I guarantee it's genuinely pulsating. You know what?
Turn the power down a little bit or something?
Yeah, I could try. Fuel injection, primary differential pressure. Check this out. So this is the injection pressure for the high pressure. Look what happens to the pressure. It's like 14 and then just I lost it.
Wow.
That's why I think that's why it's tripping out too.
Yeah, it's like right when it
See what
trips
I mean?
it's low.
Yeah. So why are we losing that?
I know, why would it spike up so
Because
violently?
I got off the throttle.
Okay, so it just
Came back up.
comes off. I'm gonna get her off the dyno right now. We had a pretty good day. I think it was successful. I definitely made the power that I wanted to on pump gas. We had fueling problems when we were tuning the E85. I don't know, I'm tired. And I got gas all in my head.
Full day, we got the electronic wastegate sorted out. What we thought was going to be the most daunting thing was actually the easiest and the coolest part of this whole project. The pump gas map came out well. We put some ethanol in the tank. We noticed some fuel pressure pulsations that were kind of undesirable. Filtered it out, but I would like to possibly see how true that is and maybe take a look at the fuel system, because when we were draining the tank, it was trickling like very slowly. So that's kind of an indication that the fuel pump isn't really providing a lot of fuel. So let's take it with baby steps. It's a successful day. It's in one piece and it made some good power. The graph is beautiful. But we're gonna make sure that the fuel system's good. Maybe come by when it's fresh day, some food in our tummies, and we'll hit it again.
Yeah, thanks, man, dude. I appreciate you so much.
Have fun.
Yeah, it made cool power, and he said like it's safe to drive the car, so I'm definitely just gonna like not go like buck wild or push through any bogging issues or anything like that. But it definitely should feel good, and I'm just gonna drive it and start easing into it. It'll be good. I just can't wait to get the car back. That's like the most important thing. And even if it doesn't make 400 or something, it makes 300, I'm still super happy with it. So yeah, we have a lot of stuff to do, but I think that like we worked through so many hurdles that it was like awesome to see Andrew working through them, and the way that he problem solves and gets to the bottom of it. Because if you guys have ever like used M1 software before, there's always like an underlying reason. So you dig, and then you make a correction and everything just like works perfectly. So it's like a lot of layers of complexity and understanding. And as he gets more familiar with using this, he'll get better at it. But like how he is with Haltech, he'll get there with Motec for sure. But okay. So second gear rolled into it. I mean, I'm like short shifting like 5K, but it sounds so good and there's tons of potential here. I can get on it, but you know. You know what's interesting? Oh, that's my turn right there. That it actually like takes a second for the turbo to come on, and it's a really small turbo, but like there's a little spool up, you know, and it doesn't make like peak power right away, but there's a ton of potential. It feels awesome. Super excited. It sounds awesome. The pedal feels really cool. Just like way more sensitive than the factory S2K. It fills in all that lost torque feel and all that dead like gutlessness of it. Oh yeah, this is gonna be so much fun. There's my trailer. I get it back. Let's get it back safe. I can commute with it in the morning maybe. See how it feels just on my like morning commute.
Safe, have fun out
Yep,
there,
yep.
and don't be afraid to break it, you know. Uncharted territory, so
Yeah,
we're explorers. You know?
for sure. Hopefully I don't break it. Hopefully I only have potential and to grow into it.
I think yeah, the only thing we do is just get better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of here.
All right, dude. Thank you so much.
Later. Bye.